Hello, everyone. Welcome to VR Verdict, episode 109, our weekly podcast where we like to talk about everything VR. I'm PJ.
I'm Wookiee.
And we would like to share VR with you. This episode's the Wookiee and Pj show. We didn't book a guest. We were still kind of making sure everything's working, so we just thought we'd take this time to chat and share what we've been doing in VR and what's going on in life and crap.
So much.
I want to tell a funny story that has nothing to do with VR to get us going, but then we'll get to stuff. So, after work tonight, I went to Taco Bell for the first time in a while.
Oh,
Just if nothing else, as a reminder why. What's that?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Say nothing else, if not a reminder of why I don't go to Taco Bell as often as I used to.
No chili cheese burrito.
Yeah. So I know, there's still pandemic stuff happening and everyone's stressed and working and all that. I get that. But hey, I live in a smaller area and getting the drive-through and there's like 3 or 4 cars ahead of me. I'm like, all right, that's fine. I'm pretty patient. But I was in that line for like 20 minutes. I'm like, oh my God, I could have just made tacos at home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I get up to the ordering screen. I'm like, hey, what's up? I want this and that. And they're like, oh, we don't have chili cheese burritos like you guessed. And I audibly said like, oh man, like, because they don't have these in every area, but I'm an old school Taco Bell guy. Like I have so many stories about Taco Bell.
Yeah.
And they've had them in our area like this whole time where like when I used to work on the road, no other area had them or even knew what the hell I was talking about. So I was like, God damn it. So I'd pick something else. I'm like, fine, whatever. And I order up and I get up to them and the guy's like, oh, I also forgot to tell you, we don't have any Baja Blast. I'm like, that's like the chili cheese burrito is my main reason to visit. Okay, I made do with that, but now no Baja Blast. Like you couldn't have told me that. Like I would have just left. That's probably why they didn't say anything. I'm like,
refund me, bitch.
Yeah. So, and the funny thing is, I was getting this because Beth made dinner because her son's home with his girlfriend, and she made this big dinner for all of them, and it was stuff that I didn't eat, which is fine. I'm a big boy; I can do my own thing. So I had to get something new, and there aren't that many options on my way home because, again, I live in a smaller area. So I'm like, I need these tacos. So it's like, I could give you a Frosty, like a Baja Blast Frosty. I'm like, fine, close enough, whatever.
I'd have that and not the regular one. Come on.
Yeah, I don't get it. But the kicker is, I my main thing is I love the Doritos taco shells.
Mm-hmm.
So that was like my main thing, but I always get the chili cheese burrito because they're awesome, but you can also eat them in the car driving, very easy, no mess. So I substituted like a couple soft shells for the chili cheese burrito issue. And I knew better, but again, small area,
no traffic. Taco shell in the car?
No, just a normal soft shell one, which normally roll up really well and eat them. Mm-hmm. But the kicker here in the final straw in this, and then I'll shut up about it. I dig in the bag, and of course, what I want, the soft shells are on the bottom, which probably makes the most sense anyway. But I pull it out of the bag, and the wrapper isn't even closed. So as I'm pulling it out of the bag, it just like explodes over the car. It took everything I had not to just throw it against the windshield and just go off the road. Like, So yeah, that's my Taco Bell story for today. It was rough.
I do like Taco Bell. I haven't eaten there in a while, but sometimes they just don't wrap the shit properly.
Yeah.
So then, like I'll get it and I'll park and I'll start eating, listen to an audiobook or put something on, just out in the middle of nowhere where I work. Yep. And the shit just falls apart into the bag. I'm trying not to get it on my clothes or not in the car seat. And I'm like, thank God my car has rubberized floors, for one thing. And then two, I'm still in the parking lot. I'll throw it in your face. I won't really, but
oh. Yeah, it was a good ending to the work day. like
fuck you, day. And like every time I make tacos or anything like that at home or burritos, I overstuff it because I'm not a professional taco artist or rolled soft shell taco artist, but I expect them to at least wrap it because they've steamed the soft shell wrap. Like it's going to stick together. There's a little bit of moisture to get it to stick, and I expect that. And it's like they don't care.
Yeah.
Oh, and I built a new Taco Bell right near me, like 6 minutes away. Or the other one's like up by a pain in the ass road. Tried that one day. I swear to God, it said I haven't had a chili cheese burrito in like 15 fucking years. We first got down here, had like 2, and then they were canceled in the whole like southeast or something. Like in 2005.
Yeah.
And then I got here, and this was just months back. Maybe a year back. I don't remember when they opened it. But I swear to God, it said chili cheese burrito, like $1.25 times 2 on the screen. And I was like, oh. And I got up there. I'm like, do you guys have chili cheese burrito? They're like, no. I'm like, I swear I saw it on the thing. Like, no, you didn't. And I was like, what are you not telling me? I got to be on a list?
But the thing with the chili cheese burrito, like they have the ingredients to make them because it's like chili cheese burrito is original, but all the stuff they have now, like they have everything you need to make it. So you have it. You just don't want to make it or don't know how.
They have the chili? I don't know that they would have the chili.
I think that's on another burrito, like in some fashion.
Not down here. I think they just nix the chili off the whole menu. Because everything else, they'll do whatever you tell them. You used to get the Cool Ranch Dorito shell inside the cheesy gordita crunch, and that was the only thing. Then they discontinued the Cool Ranch Dorito shell, and I was like, well, I'm never going, hardly ever going there again. But
this was so. I mean, and again, I get this pandemic. They did not seem or they did not seem understaffed. So I don't know what's going. Maybe there's new people. I know, it's fine. But this was the first time, like, they handed me, or they're like, hey, do you want your receipt? And I said, no. I'm like, I'll take that receipt. And then I'm like, yeah, there's a survey on there. I'm like, I won't take it. But in the heat of the moment, I'm like, I'm filling that bitch out. And they're going to hear this. Like, now that I've had my tacos and I'm fine, I'm like, yeah, it's fine, dude.
I've filled those things out when the people are good and or if the service is really bad.
Yeah.
Never won the Xbox or whatever $500 thing.
Yeah.
And it's too much food. You get the $5 box of shit, and it's like, oh, you can get this, and a drink, and then halfway through it, I'm like, terrible.
But like the one burrito you want's like $10. It's like,
yeah. You're either spending $5 for the box, or you're getting out of there like $7.79 or more. It's like, can I get that one thing in the box? Is it the garbage thing nobody wants? Anyway, that's our VR Taco Bell talk.
Yeah.
How soon can you go into the metaverse and say /taco like Warcraft had /pizza back in whenever that was?
Yeah.
And get like tacos shoved in your mouth.
Like, I guess if I open the Oculus app on my phone while I wait, I can keep it relevant to VR so I can talk about it on the podcast.
Can't see it.
Or I can drive through with my headset on in bypass mode and see what happens.
They're like, here, and you just get taco all over the cameras. Like,
That could get you in trouble because I could see myself like reaching for the food and like molesting whoever's handing it to me on accident. And be like, what? That does not feel like a burrito. Like, maybe it does. I don't know. Anyway,
that all white meat. Get it?
No.
Chicken breast.
Yeah, I got it.
The breasts are white meat.
So yeah, if anyone listening or watching this silliness has Taco Bell stories, shoot them to us on Twitter. Maybe we'll read them.
There's some funny ones out there. When we first got to down in the South area, when I first moved there, that place that had the chili cheese pulled up one time, and Nicole's her girlfriend still, I don't want to say her name, but you know her name now again. But we pulled up, and the guy, coming out of the box, just goes Taco Bell, and we're like, yeah, it's the middle of the night. That's the 2 a.m. shift.
Yeah. I don't know if I could trust that.
Yeah, they're just bored. But I mean, it's funny stories. Hopefully, besides the usual, burned a hole through my MeUndies after eating Taco Bell. But you can send those too, I guess.
Yeah, if we get at least one after we read it, we'll at least tell you guys a really funny Hardee's story we have from back in the day.
I told that like 2 weeks ago.
Nice.
If it's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah. We've probably said it on like a super old episode. Maybe I'm thinking of the other podcast, but anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, on to VR. Hey.
Or games in general, VR, state of VR.
Yeah. So
and this is my face. I know we haven't drawn them on there or anything. I need to mark it.
I was thinking about that. We're working on an avatar system coming up, but this is pretty close to what I look like. I mean, I'm white. I have a shaved head down to the scalp. Like I have no hair. My hands aren't pills, but
you had a Johnny Tremaine silversmith accident and fused all your hand together, whatever that was. Go read a book. Read a book.
Yeah. So I figure we could kind of explain. I know we've kind of talked about the new space a couple times, but again, I want to thank Tab Games and Garage Collective. Those guys helped out to get us here, and we're still moving forward with things. But Wookiee put a shit ton of time into getting this ready too, and weekly updates. So
ton of time was really been ages since I played around in Unity, and I destroyed the project somehow. So I had to reconstruct a lot of things, and it was that was a lot of time. But still, tweaking things, getting things moved around is fun. But
yeah, we have plans to further everything and keep going and growing, and it'll be awesome.
Hate to set expectations, but yeah, we got a lot of lighting work, got a lot of stuff we have to do. So
yeah, it'll be awesome. You'll be able to join us in the audience like we used to have. We'll have guest assets in some form or fashion in either a toy box or like a history of type of thing where you can come in and look at them, and sometime maybe in the future, like actually touch them and hold them and stuff like that. But
it shouldn't be too hard. I'm sure I can do it too. Throw them at each other. Put in a fake health bar, Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought to start. I mean, we have a list of stuff we can talk about, but some of the stuff we've done in VR that's been our favorite stuff. Just for example, like we haven't done it recently, but we used to watch. We'd spend a lot of time in big screen, watching movies, hanging out, goofing off.
Our regular movie we haven't hung out with her. We got to watch the Russian Lord of the Rings on YouTube with her. That's we promised. So it's probably coming up someday.
That'll be awesome. Yeah, I can't wait. We haven't tried it since they updated everything and it's supposed to work even better. So I'm pumped.
The last time we tried something, it's kind of like you can't share like Netflix browser tab video through big screen and all that jazz. I was like, come on, really?
Yeah.
So that was kind of a snag.
Yeah. But I think they've added a lot of free TV shows and channels and stuff. But anyway, couple other like we used to play Pavlov Laugh. There's a lot of videos of us laughing our asses off. But more recently, like Wookiee and I were able to check out the Demio Heroes Hangout early.
Oh yeah.
we had our nephew Logger in there the other week. We were kind of in the middle of a run. We're gonna finish up soon, but that's a more recent thing we've been doing. Logger and I played some Final Space the other night when you were doing other things. Had fun with that.
Rescue dog tried to eat my cat, so I had to unrescue that poor pup. Poor cat. Heartbroken. But
yeah.
I have not been much in the VR space, so keep going with your list because my plate's been full.
Yeah. Guardians VR, which is one of my favorite games, released their update with the dropship update.
I need to try that.
Where, you can play dropship and you can actually fly it around. It's so cool. I'm probably gonna say it wrong, but Vox Machina, the mech game that's been around forever, they released a new update and added a full campaign, which I was playing last night, and I love it. Got to use my HOTAS.
Nice.
So since I had the HOTAS out, before I went to bed, I'm like, I have to hop into Squadrons, Star Wars Squadrons, and I did the first 2 missions in this campaign. I'm like, that game is so fucking cool, man. Like it just
it feels good. It feels good.
I was in a TIE fighter all night. Like it was so awesome. With the HOTAS, it's just, oh my god.
If you have a HOTAS, I tried the Xbox controller, and there's just too many things to do. It just you can use it, but it's just harder for me. So getting the HOTAS pass thing, feel like Moss pass. I don't know how to pronounce HOTAS. When you remember when you remember what the buttons do, because there's like one I got has like 15 buttons on it.
Yeah.
You kind of remember how I had it set up in the ship and stuff, and the way they have the energy levels you balance towards shields or guns or whatever, and
it's
you
get
into
good.
that mode, it just works. Like when they drop that B-wing, I've got so many clips. I think I saved them to my tiny YouTube channel, personal one, just to get them off the streams. Like the B-wing, they drop that. I just wrecking people, like just all forward guns, shield stuff, and just like that thing's a monster.
So you, Logger, and I, we're playing so much. Like we get beat once in a while, but like I think the reason we stopped playing was because we were just dominating, and it wasn't. I mean, it was still fun, but it was just like doesn't feel good.
Go into that big mode where you have to destroy the capital ships.
Yeah,
and sometimes it was like the AI in that mode was just wrecking me. Like I can go wreck a whole squadron of players, which should be harder than the little AI ships, and I can't get off. It's like that's weird. Maybe it's a balance thing to keep it, a challenge. But then once in a while, people would have like the meta build with like 3 of the TIE bombers, and they would just like okay, fine. You get the most firepower, and you're covering each other's back, and you can't do anything. Yeah, I get it. But countless times there'd be somebody fucking with you, and I remember you're like going A-wing, and then you just, and then I can't kill anybody. PJ's in an A-wing, which is over too fast. It's just too strong.
It's so good, man. I want to go play it right now. I want to just quit this and go play it.
Yeah, you're hyping me up now. Like I like to do the support ships, and I remember there was a bunch of matches where I was just fucking people up in those support ships, just be like, dropping the turrets and doing this and that and the other, and just laughing because like, how can you guys not be killing me in this slow ass dome? But I'm still just like, hey, you drop a landmine, shoot a turret out front, and they fall into the trap, and you're just like, all I gotta do is dodge, and they just get wrecked. And it's like so funny. I don't want to ruin anybody's night while playing the games, but it's literally like you got these cocky motherfuckers, and they're just like coming straight at you. I'm like, do you not know how to change it up? And they just fall into it. It was a blast. I hope it still has the good people, it doesn't like lose players. But
I was looking at it like, because how time moves. Like it seems like it hasn't been that long, but the last update to the game was last May. But there was like, you mentioned like how many buttons are on the HOTAS and everything, and that's funny because I was, like you said, trying to remember how to do shit. And I accidentally joined up a game, and I went right into a game. I'm like, oh, there's still people playing. Cool. It took me like 20 minutes to figure out how to recenter, like which button it was, because it was like the menu button, but you have to hold it down.
Yeah.
And obviously you have a headset on, and since I had my headset on, I was using my Rift, so I had the lights off, so I can't see the numbers anyway. So it took a good 20 minutes to figure things out. But after that, like I felt right back at home in the cockpit, and I was blowing shit up. So good.
Yeah. Being in the cockpit, even when you're not in VR, it just looks stunning. But then when you're in VR and you're just like, it's they. I wish they would make better quality Star Wars games. That one's pretty focused and pretty dialed in. Like the landscapes and stuff in the Battlefront games, it's fucking just walking around looking at the trees and the ice caves and shit. Then you get shot at, of course. And those games played okay, but it's like they're so well done visually.
Yeah.
Make the gameplay that good.
Yeah. I think that's a good segue into what we're going to talk about next. A lot of VR air quotes enthusiasts are against porting non-VR games into VR, which I say bullshit. Bring as many games as you can.
Put a VR like I guess the guy doing the VR mods for Cyberpunk and GTA 5. Fuck you, because I'm gonna play those games. Like and everything else that I feel like playing. Like fuck.
We'll get to those, but there are two companies I want to bring up that are doing VR recreations of Dark Shadows, Star Wars Dark Shadows.
Wow.
And Dark Forces. Dark Forces, sorry.
Shadow of the Empire?
Oh, I fucking wish. And then there's another team, a French team, doing Jedi Outcast. And I'll have links in the show notes for these because you have to check them out because they look so fucking good. I played the Dark Forces one. They're still working on it, but it's already like awesome.
I have played the Jedi Outcast was the one right before Jedi Academy, or was that after Jedi Academy?
I think it was before.
Because I think
it's been so long.
The Academy one, like coloring the lightsaber yellow orange-ish and throwing it and just that game was fucking amazing.
Yeah. So yeah, I can't wait till those are complete because oh my god, they already look epic. And the Jedi Outcast one's a full remake. Like that dude's building it from scratch. The Dark Forces one, I think it might be the same, but I could be wrong. But it's still like I was running in there shooting people, stormtroopers and crap. Oh my god, it was awesome.
I gotta try this. Because like those are the games I'm talking about. Like they weren't they're older hardware and graphics. They weren't like visually like, oh my god, it was just enough to get you there. But the gameplay was as good as the visuals are in, the later ones. So it's like that's what I want to do. I want to run around and throw that lightsaber.
Yeah, so I'll have those links if you want to check. I highly recommend checking, at least watching the videos and getting pumped. But then you brought up what was it? I think Luke Ross is his name, the guy making the mods for Cyberpunk, Red Dead, GTA. There's a couple more games on the list. I joined his Patreon because you get access to all those right off the bat. GTA, I've made videos, I've played. We've kind of talked about it in the past, but playing it in VR is the only way I've ever gotten. I think I'm over halfway on PC. I haven't played it again.
All this time he's never played the story, and just to get to the online part so we can fuck around. And then he gets in VR, and it's like won't shut up about it. And it's like that was 8 years ago, and he's now playing the story.
But that just shows you how much I like VR. Like it's so much better.
And I played it too. It's fucking like don't care that there's some mistakes because it's not made for VR, and like the cutscenes were designed for like a 16:9 view screen, and you see like some people don't have feet because they don't need to render them. Like weird. Doesn't matter. It is like mind blowing.
So I haven't tried the Red Dead one, but I did try Cyberpunk, and I have a funny story about that because we all know Cyberpunk's backstory, blah blah blah. So it was on sale for $30 on Xbox and Steam and everything. And before, like the day before I found out about the mod, I'm like, I'm gonna buy it again on my Series X, play it. It sounds like they've really done a lot of good work, good things. I want to check it out because I returned it way back in the day.
Yeah.
So I bought it on my Series X, $30, And the day later, I see this guy's doing the mod and it's available and it's still on sale. So I bought it on Steam. I was able to refund it again on Microsoft. I fired up the mod. I got in there real quick. Like it's so simple. Apparently, like it works really well, but my graphics card, I don't have like a top tier graphics card, but I'm like just above middle. I've been able to play all VR games on the highest settings, blah blah. But this mod, obviously,
Cyberpunk rendering that twice or whatever is that's a stretch. So I was planning on turning down to low.
So you can do that, but I tried many different stages because you can change it on the fly, which is nice. You don't have to restart every time. Like the midpoint, as low as I could go before like things started looking really weird and stuttering. Like it was still playable. I'd probably make it through, but I'm like, I'm gonna save this, get a better graphics card in a couple months or something. So I returned it, and I'm like, maybe I'll just get it on Xbox. By the time I went through all this, the price is back to normal. I'm like, I'll just wait and get a graphics card and really experience it. But like for at the mid setting that I was able to achieve before, like my computer's like, I'm gonna blow up if you don't stop. Because I did crank it up and it looked amazing, but I just couldn't run it. But even at the mid level, like it was good enough. Like it would have worked. But I'm like, if I really want to enjoy this and whatever. So that's my story there. I thought that was funny, but yeah, that dude, he does awesome work. The main reason I stopped playing the GTA with the mod was because how they like to update their launchers and shit.
That is a huge pain.
Cyberpunk was easy. I haven't tried Red Dead, but the GTA one was a pain, and I'm just too much other crap going on. If I could have just hopped in, I would have kept playing it. I'm gonna go back to it, but yeah, that sucked. But that Blue Cross, I don't know. You're a wizard. You're amazing. We'll probably try and see if he can come talk to us because damn,
that'd be amazing.
I saw on his Patreon. There's another game. It was one of the Sony exclusives that just came to PC that he's already had a mod for. Horizon Zero Dawn, is that it? Yeah, so that'd be cool. But he's like, hey, just so you guys know, I'm targeting Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which right up my like, holy crap, like I'll buy whatever I need to play that in VR. And then it was what's the other Ubisoft game we like? Watch Dogs, the newest one. He's like, yeah. So I'm like, this dude's doing all the good stuff. Like,
holy shit.
We'll have a link to his Patreon. You gotta support him. Like, we need those things.
Yeah, do support that guy. But I bought like the ultimate version for that game because I love Watch Dogs. I played all the way through the story and the update on Xbox. But I hate switching platforms because you lose all the stuff, damn. But I would play that game again in VR. Like even girlfriend, having it on, like she liked the AI robot guy's voice and jokes, and she liked to see all the characters I was, hiring or recruiting in the cars and stuff. So she wouldn't see it in VR, but it was a good game.
Yeah, I really liked it.
The online fell flat.
Yeah.
So that really made me mad, but good stuff.
Yeah. I'm pumped.
I have no my big thing about people like judging other people for how they play games or whatever. If you're not hurting anything, cheating in multiplayer, then who cares? But it's like I respect my time more than I respect your rando opinion of how I spend my time. It's like if it's not real VR. Well, it is. It's in virtual reality. Like,
yeah,
I would play so many games in VR, platform-based games in VR.
Like I have a handful of games I keep going back to that you have to use a controller because they're older, and it's like I don't care. That's fine. I can still turn, and I'm still in the world. I don't care that I can't move my hands. Like it's like Skyrim. Like everyone's like, "Oh, it's not VR." It's like the fuck it isn't that game, like that's still one of the top games like to be immersed in. Like you can't touch it.
My problem is I get mod crazy because they have stuff for like the towns. There's no loading screens when you go in the towns. They rip the towns and put them into the open world space, which screws a whole bunch of other stuff up. But it's hard to go back when you can ride your horse right into Whiterun, that first big dragony town, and it's just like, oh, if you could do that in like VR and run all the mods, it would just be like, it'd be hard to have to pick another fantasy game because you can just put whatever you want right in that. Be like, oh,
Yeah.
I made Dark Souls. Skyrim.
Yeah, it's insane. And, you know, like No Man's Sky, like yeah, they added the great like perfect VR elements to the game, but wasn't a VR game, but it's one of the top ones now. Like
doesn't why does it matter? Why do you get to champion a weird cause like that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Purists die out. Like you can't, you know.
But yeah, if you don't like it, fine. Shut up and don't play it. Let the other thousands of people enjoy it and leave them alone. We realize we're talking to an empty space, so but
these are my opinions. Yours don't matter, but mine do.
Go tell yours on your podcast.
And I don't play Dark Souls because I don't want to spend that much time like dying and running back. I'm sure I could have some fun with it, but like Elden Ring came out, I'm like, man, that game looks good. I've been kind of waiting to see how it looks, and it's like
it's good. But to be honest, go ahead. No, wait till you're done.
I was just gonna say the time it takes. Like I don't mind dying a few times or learning the boss fights and stuff, but the more I read up, it's just they have like 30-second to a minute run back to the boss. I hate that shit. I've always hated that shit. Like have a bad match in like an online, like Call of Duty game, and it takes you 5 to 8 minutes to get back into another match. It's like you lose the mojo in there. It's like get me back in. Like I want a longer match. I'm not done kicking ass or trying to get my ass unkicked. I think that running back, would be exhausting. And I guess if you're a purist, that's the kind of crap where you're like, don't even play it if you're not going to do it. If you're going to get a mod to like,
so
okay.
To that point, like I got it. I pre-ordered actually. Like that world looks so fucking good. I've never played a Souls game. I know what they are. I know they're tough, but like I'm a good gamer. Like I've been playing games for 40 some years. Like fuck it. I haven't played in a week because I'm stuck at a spawn point where I run up, I activate a hollow companion. I don't know, like an AI buddy to help me with the boss that's in the next room. And I have this thing that I can call 3 spirit wolves that kick ass. I've gotten this guy down to a quarter health like probably 10 times. I just can't kill him. But I don't, the thing with that game is, and I love it that they don't tell you anything, but it's like, should I really even be fighting this guy? Did I miss something where I should be a little higher? Like, I have no idea. I'm like, I'll just invite someone to help me out. I don't care. I just want to move on. I want to see the world. I don't even know how to invite people. And I know I could look it up, but I'm one of those people, I hate looking shit up.
It should be
I can figure it out. But the weird, like Elden Ring, like there's these different fingers. And that's what they use for multiplayer. And you have to have like this squiggly finger to invite. And I know you can invite people to certain areas. And I know this is an area, but I can't get someone invited. Like, what the fuck?
That's weird.
So, yeah, it's that I might have to look up and just be like, because I just like I said, I've got him down to a quarter. I'm sure I'll get him, but I'm sick of that running. Like it's the same 10 minutes. And I'm like, I don't like, I don't want to be in Groundhog's Day mode here. I just want to move on.
Yeah.
That is my only,
Yeah. It's the repetition kills me. I'll play Monster Hunter. If there was a better version of like, I love Monster Hunter World. We played a lot of that. But like a better version where like you can, it's like harder to tell what the monstrous patterns are. I got no problem trying to fight some of those big dinosaur dragon things, like 50 times, 80 times to learn their pattern and really learn like, you're investigating the monster kind of thing. I got no problem with that, but like, let's just make you run back. It's that running back in the middle. It's the replaying the hallway.
Yeah.
You know, and when games are like checkpoint based and you got to replay, like, oh, I got to keep replaying, like, that shit, it just takes too much time. And then sometimes you get, you're not focused because you've done it 50 times. You should take a break, but you only got a half hour left. Then you got to go to, school or work the next day, and you're not going to get to play till the weekend. I'm like, I want to get something done tonight.
Yeah. That's exactly
ruins it for me. And then
yeah.
That's why, like, again, go back to Skyrim on the 360 when the Kinect had the voice commands and they had quick save, which they didn't have a quick save before that. And girlfriend was going to strangle me because every encounter I'd say quick save.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to fight that shit again. I just fucking fought it. Like,
yeah.
I hate MMOs because like shit respawns too fast. Like, I love MMOs, but like when you're playing MMOs, you're kind of doing shit, and then you try to get it out and you got to fight it all of it over again. And it's like, why?
Yep.
Like, can it be tied to population? If there's not like 30 other people in the area leveling off these things and everyone needs a few, I'm the only one here. Why does it come back? Because I'd like Warcraft, I'd always do the rogue thing, and I'd be really good about squeezing my way in and doing all this stuff, and then I'd have to run my ass out again. Be like, I did my thing. I want to leave.
Yeah, that's how I've been playing. Shit. What's the MMO that just came out? Yeah, Zenith.
I remembered a name.
Yeah, of a game you haven't played yet. I've played with other people, and there's a lot of cool people, and you can always find someone to party with. But I've played 90% of the 6 times I've started over on that game due to betas and alphas, and then I got to like level 25. Well, almost all solo. Like exactly what you said. Like I'd sneak my way in, do what I need to do, and then fight my way out if I could pull it off. But like the harder, bigger things where you're supposed to have a group, I'm in there just like making shit happen. But then it is like, now I got to work my way all the way back out. It's like, damn it.
And I wish game recording or clip recording was easier back in the day, because like, if
a thing.
Yeah, it would. I would have like what were those? I forget what those little capture cards had. A funny name for those. But like, when I was going to school and Final Fantasy 11 was out. Funny story about that. Like, Final Fantasy 11 is out. PC game, or like GameStops, didn't know what it was, because they were like, a Final Fantasy game in the PC, they don't have one. And we'd call and see if it was in stock because it was out, and they're like, they don't have that. I'm like, 11. What? And they had it in stock. They were just so dumb. We went driving, pitch black, the crappy pickup truck, and I'm living in Florida at the time. And I tried to take a turn because the GameStop, like, going down like highway, Florida. And I somehow miss the road, the turn. Like, the road just stops, and I go down into like big green divot that separates the two parts of the highway. We're just driving, and then it's like grass. And we're like, what the fuck? And fucking up, and then we're like, I don't know if we got airtime. We're just like, and then I'm back on the road, like right out where we were turned where I meant to be. And I'm like, was it a sinkhole? Did the like, you just turn left through an intersection, but there's like no lights out there, and this huge. Anyway, so we get there, do that stuff, and I was playing. I think it was Black Mage. And when you get to like level 10, you have to have a group in that old game. It was rough. That thing was tough. And I think I made it to 15 solo because, like, I think even the Japanese folks had a method where they have a bunch of little black mages and you have a really hard monster, and they would just hit it each in one turn and they'd get it to where the aggro was like equal spread amongst all of them. And they would just stand in a circle. It would just run in circles, and they would kind of kite it, but they were standing still. I'd be shitting, like, doing that shit myself with the same monsters. All the way to like 15. In that game, like, if you died, you would actually level down. If you were like, you just level up, you go get new clothes, you die, you level down, and you're naked because your clothes, you can't equip them. There's little old me, and I was one of those little tiny Taru or something like that. And I'm sitting there like, I'm no stranger to the challenge, because I'm sitting there like practicing this shit for no reason. I have no qualms about playing that game forever. I'm like, I'm going to get this down. I'm sitting there like fucking up these monsters. And there's people, I had a crowd of Japanese people watching me. at some point. Nicole even remembers that people were like, "How the fuck are you doing this?" And I was like, "Do it until I can't, and then I'll figure something else out. Then I guess I have to talk to people." But
Yeah.
like other
Can you
people are like,
imagine being able to get, I don't know how many people, it was 10 or 20 in the circle, but getting that down because, when we used to have friends on Xbox Live and we'd have a bunch of people playing, like we couldn't even get like a 4-man squad to cooperate and like actually
yeah,
use teamwork. So anytime I
yeah,
see that shit, it's like, how the hell do you do that?
yeah. If I would have seen that thing with like the ring of people and them doing that perfect thing, like, and could communicate with them because they were just Japanese, I didn't care talking to an English idiot, American idiot speaking English idiot. I don't think we would make the cut. I think they're probably pretty not militant but serious. Like they got a little core group going. It would be
Yeah.
fun, but that's like even in like Ghost Recon Breakpoint, I read about people that are like, I joined a match and they made me change my clothes to fit their outfit, and I shot a guy and they yelled at me and over the mic saying they didn't give me clearance. Like this isn't even airsoft, like Milsim airsoft. This is Xbox. And they were like, you should have known better after they made you change your clothes. He's like, yeah, you're probably right. Like they told him the pattern that he had to go by, like the camo pattern, so they'd match. And I was like,
no,
those are the people. Like there's a Japanese equivalent out there, probably still playing Final Fantasy 11 on a private server, getting that down pat just in case they need it.
I said that's cool. I didn't say I would enjoy it because I would not. Because one of the guilds I was in, Brazen Eye, a friend of ours, way back in early days,
in Warcraft.
We were in this. What's that?
In Warcraft.
Yeah, we were in this guild, and there was this militant lady running the show, and it was cool, but I was just not having fun, so I just devolve and like just fuck with people just because they would get so mad.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, I'm over here doing my job in this raid, so I can still type sarcastic comments at all of you while I'm doing my job. I'm getting it done, but yeah, like that didn't last long.
And when people take it that seriously, you want to poke fun at them, but I can't do too much, like, because those people are like with the 40-man raid, that's their entire week. So if I did anything to like blow that out of the water, there's trolls that do it and they think it's funny, but I was like, I wouldn't want to spend that much time. Like all those people spend all the time, like leave them alone. But then that goes both ways. You leave me alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That reminds me of, we have some videos of our Destiny days, but we don't have it where the first big raid, it was so much fun. You're trying to like run it with our friends, and I already said that doesn't work so well all the time. But
I turned into
oh my God,
some inspirational World War II hero or something in that one. And even our British friend was like, I loved reading those emails because I was emailing everybody like that played. And he was like, he didn't play that much, but he was like, I love reading those emails because you'd be like down in the dumps. You'd be like, wait, no, fuck that. And he's like, I could see the moment. And then you would be all inspirational like crazy. And then we got it done. Like we walked in blind to that Destiny raid.
Yeah.
And over a 33-hour play stretch spread over one weekend. I think we got it in one weekend.
Yeah.
But it was like 30 hours of playing. It was a good moment, but it was tough.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun, and you feel like you achieved something. Just like I know it's not VR, sorry, but going back to Warcraft, my first major character was a mage, and to get the dread mount back then, it was like this whole fucking like week of quests you had to do, and it was so epic. And when I got it with our friends, it was such a good feeling. But then they nerfed the game, and because no one wants to do that kind of work, and then it's just like, well, there's no point.
Well,
and that's where we're at.
Yeah, I'm playing the Guild Wars game, Guild Wars 2. Fucking love it. Don't know why we didn't try it when it came out. It's from like 2013 or something like that. Going for like the dragon flying mount right now. I know I have some story I should be doing, but I saw a skin on the gem store and I was like, I have to have that. I'm part of the problem, but that's the game's free to play, and I'm like, there's such a good job done with that game and all the good things about it. I'm like, they deserve a little money, so I bought the skin, but I don't have the mount. use the skin on. So I'm like, I better jump ahead and get that skin.
Can you at least
it's-
use the skin as like a rug in your house or something until you get
that
it the
would be
mount?
funny. Just like a
Just wear it.
shedded skin, just run around with this giant dragon skin ring. But like to get that, it's like a month long,
That's awesome.
and it's like the story. While I'm sitting, I made up my own thing. I'm like, I'm being a time traveler because I'm sitting part of this story, part of this story, part of this story, and I don't really. I see changes. It's like watching a season of a TV show at the beginning, coming in the middle, and then at the end. Is like some characters like not there, and then they're there and happy, and then now they're like they don't like your main character. I'm like, what the hell happened here? You know, they're like yelling at you about something. They said, we were best buddies. What happened? It's kind of funny, but like there's a thing where you got to charge some quartz crystals. You got to go mine them, like regular in MMO, and you can, like use 25 of these to make one of these. You can do that once a day, and you need 22 of them over the course of
That's math.
Like that you gotta do that. Make sure you have 25 of those things. You go here, you figure it out. And I've had to Google some because there's just so much. But like I don't know how to make the quartz. Like commune with the place of power. I'm like I kind of remember that, but I don't. What does that mean? And they go, oh yeah, that thing. And then it's literally 22 days just to get those. So I'm like trying to progress the story and trying to do all this stuff, and it's like it's even in a nerfed state now. I think when that first came out in 2016, I think it was like 33 days minimum, time gated. Like you do something, you got to wait 2 hours before you can do that thing again. You got to do it a bunch of times. Like I don't mind doing that because it does feel like an achievement. But I miss this stuff. Like I'll go in like a if an MMO had really good Monster Hunter elements where you got to watch the monster if you want to catch them. That's a great thing about old school Monster Hunter. I don't remember that from Monster Hunter World, but like you'd have to watch the patterns and you hit them and you kind of see where they go, and then you could like poison them or something. You could actually catch them, and then you had to do something special different. But if it had really really detailed ways where like you wouldn't even know that was a thing until you studied that fucking monster for real. Like you yourself had to learn that monster, not just like unlock something because you stared at it. Like Red Dead, you watch the bird through binoculars and you know everything about the bird. You got to follow it and do all that stuff. I would do that shit if you made it feel worthwhile.
Yeah. See, I feel like in VR, I would absolutely love that, but like on a normal flat screen, like it's not just as compelling unless they do it right. But like in VR, like you feel like you're in the world, and I could see myself spending time to do that. But
you just got to make shit immersive. That's all. You got to feel attachment to the character and feel immersive. And in VR, I think you are the character, so you don't have to feel the attachment to the character. So that's the trick, because like our nephew and I will go around in like Ghost Recon Breakpoint, make up funny outfits or weather specific outfits, and you're just like, I'm here using the same gun I used from day one.
Yeah, I'm like, fucking like, we're going on this mission, and we'll be up in a snow area. I get out in my same black uniform, the same guns I've had since launch. Then we'll go down in the jungle. You guys switch your outfits, and I just get out, and I'm in my black uniform with my same guns.
And I've got funny. Went through and hit like level 20 for all the classes so I could get the clothes. And then I was like, wait, you can't dye the clothes. And they did an update where you put it back where you can change those clothes. I can make it white. And I've got like snow outfits and shit that look pretty epic. And, I'm like, they need more outfit slots because you get 5. I'm like, I got like 6 ideas for snow and 6 for jungle and 10 for desert. And I got enough room. And PJ's over here like, order outfit slots.
Like a scrub.
Get attached to your character. But like I do miss those old school MMOs. It's sad, when we're old school, so Warcraft came out and we had a bunch of extra time. We'd go to work and didn't have that much at night and weekends, and that was it. And now it's like you gotta mow the lawn. You don't have enough time. So it'd have to be pretty fucking compelling to go back and try the 40-man raids of classic WoW, because it's at time,
Yeah. Yeah. None of that should happen when we had that kind of player base. once it kind of that player base we had dissolved, then all this cool stuff happens. Like I don't want to play with 40 strangers at once. Like 5 is good, but damn.
Well, the group we always had was never really good about working together. So I think that's for that experience, it's for the better because there's an old school game called Chrome Hounds I talk about all the time because you can make your own robot, like big tank robot things, and they have all these funny things. And I made I don't remember what kind of symbols. I remember I had Brian Griffin, like he had a little tiny symbol chat, and you had to order all this stuff. You could make logos. I had a bunch of really good ones, like Thundercat and shit, probably. But you'd have to take if you were within range. Yeah, if you're within range, you could talk to people, and they get out of range, you can't talk. You have to go take a communication tower, and it would make a big area of communication.
Unless one of your teammates built to expand the communication rate. It was so fucking cool.
Yeah, they had that setup. Then you'd have to sacrifice, defensive or offensive capability to do that, which is perfectly balanced. But then you got that guy that just you see him on the map and like you're explaining, like, okay, now Breezer, stop. We need to, and then he's gone, and you can't hear him, can't talk, and then his little icon turns into an X because he got killed somewhere because he ran right at him
every fucking time, every fucking game.
Yep. And I remember playing that Destiny raid when we got to the final boss fight, the Vault of Glass, such a cool name. We had people that didn't play as much. Your ex-wife among them, fine player, but she didn't play as much as the rest of us. So you had to help her with the jump puzzle, I think, at the time.
Yep.
Like we did that like 8 million times, and every time she's like, "Here you go, here's a controller," and just to get it over with because otherwise she'd jump.
The whole party would be sitting on the ending of the puzzle, and you'd see I'd have to put my controller down, go to the other room, quick, do the.
Yeah. It's so fine. Hey, we got it done. But then we'd all be like doing exactly what we needed to. We got really good, and then we get exhausted because she had a little trouble. There was a couple other people that we had trouble. Then PJ and I would have trouble because we'd played it. We'd done the same thing like 15 times, and when the people that were getting it good consistently started to falter, the other people got a fifth wind. Yeah. And then they do it perfectly, and then they start making fun of us because we'd fall off and shit and be like, "I'm tired. It's been 27 hours without sleep."
And on top of that, everyone would get all the coolest shit. I'd get nothing.
PJ got no loot. Well, I had to learn how to cheese the raids and like make all like cop triplicates of the same character to go get back in there so he could get a gun, gun. Everyone was getting the same gun, and he's like, "I don't get the gun."
We had one friend, the first time he goes in there, he got like every single drop possible. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yep. He got every kill, he got like a drop from it. And he's like, "Oh, I just got one of these." And you just delete a gun, and then he had nothing. It was so fucking weird. But
good times.
Loot cave and shit.
Yeah.
Funny stuff.
So we'll bring this back to VR for those enthusiasts listening.
Just haven't had a chance to talk about any of this for a while.
Yeah. Obviously we have no guests here. I thought we'd just share like the next couple of guests because we got some cool stuff happening. Wookiee and I have tickets to go to the Onboard XR event tomorrow, which is immersive. To be honest, I haven't looked too deep because I want to be surprised because they do all kinds of performances and things.
All I know is I think we have this tickets where we're sitting on the stage with them.
Yep.
That's all I know. Going in blind.
So again, we'll have links to this, and they're going to be on the next episode of our podcast. So we're going to explain what we went and saw. I don't know what we're going to see, but I know either they have these 3 different things I saw, and it's like all like, one of it's like on a sunken pirate ship, and one of it's like monsters of the deep. So I don't know if that's what we're going to get into. I hope so. If not, I'm going to get another ticket for it. But immersive theater, they have musicians, they have dancers, like it looks freaking cool. So come back next episode and we'll talk about that and with those guys they're going to be on, and
maybe a video if we can get it.
Yeah.
Show you what
the week after that, we're going to have the Monster VR team back. They were on the podcast over a year ago. They've totally redone their game. It looks epic. It was fun before. Now it's a blast, and I think they're adding multiplayer, if I remember right. And possibly, if we can, they have this really cool cyberpunk map. I want to see if maybe we can show that off in our space and put our table and chairs in that space, because that'd be pretty cool. But yeah, those guys are awesome.
Like if we get assets from the developers, like here's a hut from the game, and we just put it in here. It'd be fun.
And then the last week of March, we're gonna have Don Carson from Walkabout Games. Or no, I always screw this up.
Walkabout Mini Golf.
Walkabout Mini Golf, the Mighty Coconut team. Sorry, guys. He's gonna be on the episode, and we're gonna have some assets and things and talk about. This guy has like 20 plus years of all kinds of stuff. Like, it's gonna be amazing. And we're gonna touch on, for those who have heard about it, the 36-hole labyrinth course they have license to from the Jim Henson Company. We're hoping maybe we'll do something with them before release with that, but we're going to talk to Don and a bunch of stuff, and then go from there. But yeah, that's just what's coming up with us. But
and I just watched Labyrinth like a couple months ago. I don't remember that movie from my childhood, but I was sitting there like, how did I not watch this? This is hilariously funny. And then I sit there going, smell, like for like 4 days. So
yeah, that was. I mean, again, we're not like elderly, but we're older. So that was like kind of our childhood. One of our other friends who we mentioned, I guess his sister made him watch that like every day for a couple summers of his youth. Yeah, we'll sing the songs, but a running joke with us is frickin' David Bowie's sock pants, his little codpiece thing going on. So I hope that's somewhere in the courses and Walkabout. Like, you have to acknowledge it. Like,
yeah, come walk around a corner and just there's the crotch.
But if you're listening or watching this, like on the air date, that game was on sale. I don't know if it still is, but I think it is. So grab it quick before that stuff comes out, because even without the labyrinth stuff, like, that game is really neat. They have a lot of cool courses. It's a lot of fun. It's a good hangout time with people. I have some guys at work that play it. It's a good thing to hop in and just hang around. Yeah, that's kind of what's coming up in our world. Just thought I'd share that.
Even if Muppets
then we
freak you out, they kind of freak me out, but I still like puppets are weird. I said if Muppets freak you out, like my girlfriend's like, I can't watch any of that shit. The way the puppets move is just creepy. I'm like, I get it, but the Dark Crystal's still the Dark Crystal.
So I don't know, anyone listening or watching, if you've seen the Dark Crystal, you know what it is, but it's so weird. When I was in 5th grade, I remember this so vividly. You know how the Time magazine, or wait, what magazine? National Geographic. They always had the serious stuff. So they had a cover, I remember, of the main character of Dark Crystal. And again, I was in 5th grade. I don't remember what age you are in 5th grade, but I honestly thought, I was still naive and young at this time. I thought that like that was a race of people we discovered somewhere. And I was just, my mind was blown. And then I saw the movie. I'm like, oh. Because the way they had like the cover and like the articles, like they were probably airbrushed a little bit, so they looked like real things. And again, I was so little, like I'm like, where are these people at? Like,
making weird assumptions.
Yeah. And then I saw the movie, and yeah, those sloth things they rode like kind of creeped me out, and as a young person,
long leg things or something. Yeah, like, Jesus.
Yeah, so I get why she can't watch Muppet shows, but
that would suck, because
the Muppet shows, like, I still would watch Muppet Show episodes, like the old school ones. It still fucking makes me laugh. I don't know why.
Yeah, they're funny.
Yeah. Anyway, if you haven't seen the movie Labyrinth, go check it out. It's pretty good.
Get ready for the walkabout golf. 36 holes just of all that imaginative stuff. That's gonna be kind of fun just to walk around in. So
Yeah.
I'm sure even if the game isn't on sale, the price of that is probably worth the time you might spend if you enjoy looking at game art in 3D just to walk around the courses.
Yeah, that'll be cool. For anyone who hasn't played that game, like they add a course like every month is kind of their goal. But the last couple have just been amazing. But a cool thing they do on every full course is there's like an Easter egg hunt where you got to find the starting item, which is just like an asset kind of hidden, and then you have clues as to like, and these courses are huge. Like they're so big, they gave you the ability to fly around, and they'll have these clues, and you'll go find like 12 pieces, and then you'll get a really cool like golf club, and that's the only way to get it. So between that and there's a hidden ball on every course or every hole. So it's neat because if you have a party of 5 and you're just kind of sitting there chatting and stuff, you can go do and look for these things, and it's a fun activity, and they have some really cool balls to find. And I'm hoping they make a VR verdict ball. We'll see what we can do, but yeah, it's neat, and it's like it's fucking mini golf in VR. And it sounds silly, but if you like mini golf in real life and you put the headset on and play mini golf, like it's just as good. I don't know. So,
even if you don't like mini golf, it's in VR. You don't have to drive anywhere, rent anything. You're like, oh, and it's instant gratification. You hit a mini golf ball. So.
Yeah, you don't get denied a golf cart. You don't get yelled at for not having your own clubs. You
Or
don't get in
nearly
trouble
killing a guy.
for killing people on the course. These are things that happened to us the first time we tried golf, and we've never gone back. Well, I haven't. You might have, but
And that friend of ours, and that friend of ours that sings the Labyrinth songs was like into golf, and we probably made him look like an asshole because he brought these 2 idiots on the course, loudly proclaiming, "Why can't I have a golf cart?"
yeah. And yeah, I was always told golfing was relaxing, and that day was not relaxing at all.
No. I couldn't hit the ball. I'm coordinated with martial arts as a kid. Couldn't hit the freaking ball so many times that the friend of ours was just, people played through because I was just so slow, and they were way the hell down. He's like, "You just hit it. You're not gonna get it." Like feet away from that guy's head.
Yeah.
And he looks at me, and I just dropped the club. I'm done. If I had a cart, I would have drove it off a cliff. I felt so dumb. Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Good times.
In high school, we had golf training, and there was a freaking cow pasture near the fucking high school where he graduated. Was there the sophomore year? Fucking sliced the ball and hit a cow in the freaking forehead. Dropped the club. It's like the same thing, but like the other one was years later. It's just like, okay, I'm done. I don't want to kill a cow. He just made it like fell on his knees. I was like, oh my God. Can't hit the ball and then nearly kill something. Like, oh, fuck it. There's no gray area. Anyway.
So yeah, that's what's going on in our world.
Sorry, I go off on rant.
No, totally fine.
We have guests. I want to hear what they have to say. Nobody wants to hear what I have to say. Then open it up and BS comes out.
Yeah. So, yeah. Anyway, I brought up Vox Machina. Like that's kind of the main game I'm looking to jump into again, using the whole task. Like you feel like you're in a goddamn mech, and I've said this before. Like I don't know why there aren't more mech games or like cockpit type games. Like there's a good handful of them, and they're all pretty good. But it's like this is so epic. There needs to be like 50 of these.
My problem with mech games, and they're usually fun, but they're only fun for me for about 15 minutes because it's like a lot of the same thing. You're in a mech, and you just go like, and that's like. Yeah, I think there was in the early days there was a mech game. You and I were just going like 1-on-1 in the PvP match, and it really came down to you'd shoot at me first, and I'd get about half health, and I'd get you down to about half health, and then whoever died first, the other person was half dead. The other person spawns, finishes them off, and that person is now at half health, full health. But now I'm at, and it was just like a trade off. It's like that's it.
Yeah. The first
like,
kill decides the entire thing.
I mean, that's just starts of the pattern. Like,
Yeah.
you love me, you love me not. Like, just whatever one you start with, is even and odd.
But
When's the last epic mech game? Is
imagine
this
if they
it?
used the engine and weapons, like the controls and stuff from Squadrons we were talking about, into something like that, where you had to like
Mm-hmm.
constantly adjust. Because the cool thing is you can use the HOTAS, or if you don't have one,
In-game
everything's
joystick.
in game, like the levers, like there's all kinds of things you can do, and oh my god, it's cool.
And that stuff would keep it interesting. Like, I like the minutia controls, because if the gameplay is literally just like stomping around, walking back and forth, shooting and stuff, hiding behind a building in your retreat or something like that, it's very like just two-dimensional, but slower than like a first-person shooter. There's some weird thing that's just like missing. If somebody could like figure
Yeah.
that out, I think the market would flood with fun robot games, because that's like that's it. That's usually the pattern.
I don't even care about multiplayer. I'm just like campaign. Yeah.
Well,
But
that too, but I mean, like,
Vox Machina, they added the campaign now, but there was multiplayer, there was co-op and versus. And co-op, you like defend, you know,
mhm,
what do you call them?
bases.
Bases, but like transports and like I can't think of the fucking term where there's like multiple trucks in a line, like a convoy is what I'm looking for. You defend convoy, like it has a good mixture of stuff. Never played like the versus stuff, but
Well, I think like
not a good
you
option.
jump all those different things to do, but if like the core gameplay loop or pattern of being in the robot
Yeah.
is always what falls short for me. The last
My
mech game that I really liked was like Titanfall, because like it had a bunch of other stuff to do, and then you get in the mech and then you just rip shit riot,
yeah.
and then your mech blows up, and then you have to earn another Titanfall down. But it's like I need more.
Yeah.
I don't know what the problem is, because like cockpits, I'm thinking of airplanes, and you can do some crazy maneuvers. You can't do a crazy maneuver in a mech.
Yeah.
Chrome
It was
Hounds.
funny, like the coolest thing was they have this little map and it's one button on the HOTAS and it'll like normally it's like sitting right here so you can kind of see it. If you hit the button, it kind of like folds over to here and you can look and see it, but you can push it and it'll pop up. And then if you have a sniper weapon, you push another button and the screen will pop down and it has your reticle on it and it's really zoomed in. It's so neat. And without the HOTAS, you can just pull the lever down and do it. It's just really cool.
That stuff. I mean, that would be the minutia, like the have the levers and shit, like
Yeah.
steampunk kind of like twist it all, but levers and things to make it. That would probably be a lot more fun than just pushing the button. But like, I don't know if my point. It's hard to explain, because like a first-person shooter is about the same thing, but we play a million hours of those. But like robot games are like, they seem so
Yeah.
short-staffed. I don't know what to say. What other things? Like, got to be some component. But like, I don't remember why we like Chrome Hounds so much, because Chrome Hounds and Titanfall are the only mech games that I remember like spending hundreds of hours on.
Yeah. Well, Chrome Hounds, you built your thing from scratch and you had to really like even it out and you could design what you want, like full bore guns or full bore shielding or like support crap. Like
That would be like an iterative process where you're like, oh, I died because of this. Can I upgrade my mech? Because I remember I had like one that was just like shields, like a riot shield, and then a shotgun, and it was like going around in a circle. So it was just riot shield and shotgun in a circle. I just obliterate everybody or some weird thing like that. It was like a monster.
Yeah.
And close range, you couldn't do anything to it. I was like, I've made a perfect killing machine. But long range, you just get the crap kicked out of you.
Yeah.
That was probably the fun of that, because again, it was just on tank treads and shit.
Yeah. But the cool thing was you like they had so much balance. Like you'd go out on a run and like, oh, if I could get 30 more cooling, I could add this and I'd be done. And then you'd do it. And then like, then I could do this. And it was just awesome.
Yeah. That's the part, but it didn't come down to the combat. It came down to the making the build was the best part, I guess. But does that make sense? It's like,
yeah, I get what you're saying.
It feels like, even though you can kind of move around, it just feels like you're a turret on like an airplane. Like, yeah, that's fucking fun if you got like a bunch of people in like a multiplayer airplane and you're just like the tail gunner.
Yep.
But if that's the entire game,
I'm still waiting for that game where you can have one person driving a big machine and 3 people gunning.
I'm working it. I'm working. I'm gonna get it.
But
that's what I think is missing. If they had that, so just a little more like unique elements to it, I would. Yeah. It has to be. I don't know. I'm weird. It has to be like dynamic because, like I said, those other games you're talking about, I'll practice, all day long trying to get like my pattern of how I want to do something now. But if I don't have that, if it's a literally point, aim, shoot, then it's like, well, I'm not gonna. I've mastered that already.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be weird. I'll try any mech game you got. But
I haven't so I mean, like I said, it's been on Steam and PC VR for like 2 years probably. Just came out on the Quest and it has cross-buy for the Quest stuff. I haven't played it because I had the Steam version, so but it sounds like a lot of people like it that haven't played it, so I'm glad it's doing good at least. It's so crazy. Like VR still shocks me when, and I don't know how. Like we talk to all these devs, we should probably ask them. I just don't like talking about money. Like, how can they afford to take this 2-year-old game and stick like all this time and effort into it, and just put it out for free? Because they all do it, and it's awesome. Like the games keep going and going, but I don't get it.
I think it's labor of love and passion project because VR still got a lot of those.
Yeah.
I mean, the other ones do too is just drowned out by Ubisoft and big, huge companies. I don't know. The only one that does make sense, is like No Man's Sky made a ton of money, I'm sure, and then they're just still funding. Yeah, they're not greedy. But they got their pay and
yeah,
putting it back into the game.
In the same world where GTA has been around, GTA 5 has been around for like 10 years and is still in the top 10 selling games every freaking month, every year, like all the time. It's so crazy to me. Like who doesn't have it? Who are these people that are still buying it that don't have it? Of course, granted, I've bought it 3 times probably altogether.
Are you gonna buy the Series XS version?
So probably because we haven't played it in a bit, but that's one of the games we go back to when it's like we just want to play something. But this might be wrong, but I heard they're charging like the single player and the online are separate, and I think they're like 15 each. I could be wrong, but I thought that's what I heard last.
They split up the multiplayer for Red Dead. They offered that for like $5 initially for a couple months, and then I think 15 or 20.
So it sounds like the same. So yeah, that's cool because there's people like me that, aside from VR, like I didn't play the storyline, but I don't have as many hours as you. Like that's a whole nother story. But I play it a lot, and I pay $15 in a heartbeat to keep doing what we're doing. Yeah. So
I mean, like, recently the Xbox Museum thing app came out, and you can take a tour of like Xbox history on your phone and like push a little avatar, and it'll show, if you're logged in, it'll show all your stats and shit. And it was like most played game year over year since GTA launched. It's just GTA, 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 GTA for me. And I'm like,
yeah,
sorry. A lot of it is AFK money making, so it's like Xbox is on for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Cheaper than credit.
I do like how Microsoft, had your history and your museum and stuff, and they're, you can play freaking original Xbox. Like I love how they're keeping all the history because I beta tested Xbox Live before it was a thing, and that's a really fond memory for me. I did a lot, like I tested Kinects and stuff like that, but like it's really fond memory for me because like when Xbox Live before it launched, like I was #1 on all the games that were out. Like I was just killing people like, on everything. Even like the one football game that was out, like I had a high number on something. I don't remember what it was, but it's just a really neat thing that I'm like, people, younger people, like they don't know that gaming hasn't always been an online thing or even an option. So like when that came out, it's like, holy shit! Like I still don't know how I got in on it, but so it's just one of those cool things when I think back about that shit, and that's why I love how they kind of keep that preserved. It's just cool.
They had the bumps too. They had the red ring of death and all that stuff. They didn't hide it.
Yeah.
In that museum thing, that was fun.
Yeah, because I was hoping they had a number because in the 360 era, like we had two 360s, and it was like there was a good 6 months where one or the other was in for repair. I don't know how many coffins I got shipped, but I swear to God, I had at least 8 consoles within a 6-month span. I felt so bad for them because the 360 was such a fucking machine. But that had to have been hard. But yeah,
they even had the launch video for the 360 that had like Elijah Wood.
Yeah,
I like nothing wrong with that, but it was like I remember that was like the try-hardiest, cringiest party. You gotta have a big party, and it's like,
yeah,
they included it, and it was like these guys have got thick skins.
yeah.
Like that's one of them that even I would have been like Red Ring of Death, all this stuff. That uber ultra cringe.
Does anyone remember this? Do we need to include it? Just kind of sweep it under the rug.
It's put it in there to be funny. Like I was like, oh my god, maybe they were proud about it and they don't know it's cringe. I don't know, but I was like, that takes a secure person to approve that and be like, that hurt. That and funds at the time was like, I'm not buying a 360. That was the dumbest launch video I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Worse than MTV.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway,
the only VR I've been doing lately is working on this. And I haven't done
we forgive Wookiee. He's put a lot of time into this, so no problem.
I have a lot of outside stuff going on. So when I sit down and do VR, it's tinkering with this, trying to figure stuff out and get back into the game. Thanks again, Justin and Cyril from Garage Games and Justin from Tab Games for giving us the stuff to drop it in and kicking me in to try to like, well, now we have this nice, awesome free booth thing to use in a multiplayer tool, so can't say no to that. But that, and it's like real life crap, and then a little bit of this VR, and then if I have time to play games, I do a couple things on that Guild Wars game, and then I'm just like,
yep. Yeah, I get it. Like, we'll wrap up here, I promise. We're starting to ramble, but we were talking about Elden Ring and stuff, and I haven't touched my Xbox for a week because of that. It's been very odd because I've been, aside from VR, I've been playing my Switch more. Like I'll take it to bed and just play it in bed. Like I've been playing Pokemon Legends, whatever the name of it is. I was almost caught a Snorlax yesterday. I haven't played a Pokemon game for probably since Yellow. And I didn't really play any
of those. Like, we tinkered with Pokemon Stadium, the Japanese version on the 64.
Yeah.
And Pokemon Snap.
This one's been really cool. Like you actually, like it's an actual like simulator where you're out just catching things and you're doing whatever you want. Yeah, it's just been so odd. It's like the Switch has been my best friend recently for like gaming, because I can't wear. I know some people like they'll wear their Quest and lay down. I can't do that because like the straps and it doesn't work for me. But
pushing on my head, no, I couldn't do that.
Yeah. So. No, like you said, it's just like days of like a lot of shit going on. Like I'll just take the Switch to bed and enjoy it. Like I played, there's a new Kirby game coming out and there's a demo. I played that demo this weekend. I'm like, that was really fucking fun. Like it's a mindless, simple game, but I really enjoyed it.
Like once we got one VR thing we don't talk about enough is Emu VR, which you got to know how to set up like emulators and stuff. It is a lot of work to get it set up if you don't mind doing that, or how. Sitting in like your like 90s childhood bedroom, but playing Kirby golf or Kirby's Dream Course. I could do that all day on a Saturday, like in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Kirby's got some.
We've shared pictures and videos of it, but you can fucking put your own posters in there and decorate and all kinds of. It's so cool. It's such an awesome atmosphere.
Yeah, my brain likes to do a little bit more of the automation stuff. So I've already got a script that will like copy all your games over to do all this stuff, and I've got a method to like randomize the posters based on they're all like 30 some posters in their positions, but there's like 4 or 5, maybe 6 different like dimensions. Like, you know, these posters are wider, these posters are taller, these posters are square. It's like I have like the art for all the different sizes and positions based on the name. I can just push a button and like posters would all be randomized.
That's
or
awesome.
defaulted. You know, like my brain's like, I might get bored and then I'll do that. And then I have more fun doing that than I do just playing video games sometimes. It's like weird. But yeah, MUVR is cool. It's a trick to get working. Some of the games we've tried, like the multiplayer does sort of work. We've had a tough time like getting it solid where you don't have to worry about it.
Turtles in Time worked perfectly. Every other game's iffy.
Yeah. But that's a good one.
Yeah.
That was the last big time thing I put into VR, but that was just because I like setting shit up. Like once I got it set up, and the girlfriend was even like standing around looking in the room. She's like, oh, these posters are great, and help me. You know, then the flat screen version helped me decorate. Got it all set up, got it automated, and it's like, well, I even did like TV channels. So I got it where you put in VHS tapes, and you're watching like pulling from the internet some TV channels. I didn't even know these things existed, but pulling from TV channels for like Saturday morning cartoons and, you know, Star Trek Next Generation. I put labels on the VHS tapes, figured all this stuff out, and got to stack them. You just pop them in. It's like, it's playing. And got it all set up and working. And then it's like, forgot about it. Immediately after I got it all working.
I beat that game.
Yeah. It's like, that's why I don't like making plans and goals sometimes, because it's like, well, you feel bad if you don't get to them. But if I don't have like the next steps laid out, I'd be like, I made it to where I was going, and then I don't know what to do. And then I'm like, go eat some Jello.
Yeah. All right. I don't know how long we've been going. We don't have a clock in here yet, but we're probably good.
Decompressing.
Yeah. Chance to vent and chill and talk about shit we don't get to talk about. So yeah, share your Taco Bell stories with us, and then we'll share some more. If anyone listening or watching again, like if there's anyone you want us to try to get on the podcast, let us know. Thankfully that well is, there's no dry end in sight, so we're not having issues getting people. I'm just saying, any of our core listeners or watchers, there's someone you want us to try to talk about, or talk to, not about or about, I don't care. Let us know. We'll try and get them on here and see what we can do. Like I said, we got some good guests coming up. We got some other things in the works. Yeah.
I mean, as busy as you might be, like you might not know folks, and some really good folks are probably heads down in their game and not active on Twitter. And if you're like, hey, these guys are doing cool work, we didn't know. Then let us know. It'd be fun.
Yeah, it's still like we've been doing this over a year, right? Yeah. Is it 2 years this April? I don't know. We've been doing it a while.
You know, we're episode 109, did you say?
Yeah. 109.
52, so 104 was technically 104 weeks, probably. So 2 years. We missed our 2-year anniversary, maybe?
Apparently. Well, we had that break there, so things got out of control. But I mean, for as long as it's been 2 years, whether that's long or not to you, I'm still blown away like how many new games I see daily. Like, hey, we're working on this. Look at this. It's like, where the hell has this been all my life? Like, it's crazy. Like, it's awesome.
Yeah, you get new games you didn't know were there, and then you get 2-year-old mech games that are coming out with like crazy cool updates. And it's like,
yeah. And again, we'll finish up here shortly. But to that point, like we were talking about, games get updated. So we all the devs we talk to, we end up really liking and chatting outside of the podcast, and it's like, you guys got to come back with your updates. So it's like, it's just neat. Really cool how it worked. Like, we had no plans for any of this; it just happened. So I'm thankful it did, and it's
grateful.
Yeah, just talking to like-minded people is awesome.
It's fun. I remember one of the ones probably one of the later ones we did in Spatial Ape was like, I'm sleep deprived and I got a lot of stuff to do, so I don't know if I can do, I see some of your stuff go for 2 hours. I don't think I can do that. And his was almost 2 hours. We're like, stop answering. Like, you'd stop that, but he would just, I can't remember all the guests, but he was a
That was the captain.
The captain?
Yep.
The captain. Love you, captain. Because that was so fun. We were just talking. I'm like, you need to go to sleep or whatever it was. You need your coffee, you need your sleep.
Yeah.
We promised that he was having fun. So that's fun. Fun to hang out.
And like we said, hopefully if you want to join us, we'll have that added soon where you can just pop in and be part of the conversation.
Might be a little
fun too.
Diabolical. Like if we can add a way to make, so audience members can interact, but we can mute you. I might just push a button and you all go down into the Rancor pit. I don't know what we're going to do. Sky's the limit.
You should hear the conversations we have sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can.
Like, we could do this. It's probably not a good idea, but it'd be funny.
Yeah. Might make somebody throw up in VR. That's not my intention.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll wrap it up. Hopefully, yeah. Third time's a charm.
You need your sleep. You need your coffee.
We're gonna say our tagline, which I don't think we've said for like 6 months of the last shows, just because it doesn't fit the live show. But anyway, everyone, thanks for hanging out and joining us. Everyone watching, listening, come back next week. We'll have another guest. But I am PJ.
I'm Wookiee.
And this was our VR verdict. Remember that?
No, I was like, what tagline? But no, I mean, I get.
And then that smug lawyer guy is like, what was the verdict? I'm like, shut up. Click. Anyway, bye everyone.
Bye. And I used to pound my hand on the top of the table.
I do miss that.